I don't know, man. I don't know what's different about this because when they bring in Jarvis and Odell, they were at the top of their game, right? And on their way out the door, everyone thought that, oh, age caught up to Odell or the injuries. He's not the same explosive guy. Dude was about to win the Super Bowl MVP if his knee ain't give out on him. You know what I'm saying? And I think the same thing with Jarvis. Jarvis was a perennial Pro Bowler or a close to being Pro Bowl kind of guy. I mean, he was known as like having sure hands, and he goes to Cleveland and he's just an ancillary piece and a run first offense. So, like Howard touched on right there, I see what the Browns are trying to do. Like this is what we get. This is the best we got is Baker Mayfield. And we need to exhaust every resource that we can to make sure that it's not a personnel problem, that it's him. You know what I'm saying? Because every year it's always been the excuse that, oh, he was injured or him and Odell don't mesh because Odell freelances or he can't get the ball here or that. The truth is, I mean, Baker can't make most throws that, a legitimate QB can make. Like we've
Welcome in to Stay in Balance, the sports podcast of the people. I'm your host, Kari P, here alongside Howard. How you doing, bro?
What's good? How y'all doing?
And K-Wall, what's up, bro? How you doing? Yo, March Madness has started, and not the March Madness we thinking about. NFL free agency. Yo, a lot of stuff has happened. Yo, a lot of trades happened. A lot of people signing for big, big money. But let's start with some of these interesting trades that we've seen. One of the ones we've seen is Amari Cooper is heading to the Cleveland Browns for a 5th and a 6th round pick. What are you guys thinking this means for Baker and the Browns? And what do you think this means for Jarvis and where he's going to end up playing next season?
The Browns, I know what they're trying to do. And I guess I got to give them respect because they're like, hey, Baker's the best we got. And we're not going to be able to upgrade him. So let's just keep putting people around him and hope one day he figures out how to play football. But yeah, this one, I feel good for Jarvis. Like, finally, you're out of there. Like, you go play with a good quarterback just like Odell. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to find a team with a great quarterback and go play because I don't think he's doing that again, especially watching his boy go win a Super Bowl. So wherever Jarvis goes, he's gonna play with a really good quarterback and get him the ball. So I don't think he's really worried about anything. Now, Amari Cooper, I don't know. Like, I don't think Dak's all that good, but I know for a fact he's a whole lot better than Baker Mayfield. So I'm playing with the black Kirk Cousins thing. I don't know. That didn't work out in your favor because you're going to play with like the blind. I mean, I don't know, because unless you and Baker can turn this around, I know why the Browns are doing it. They're trying to keep up. But I mean, honestly, I got the Steelers with Mitchell Trubisky ahead of the Browns right now. Like they're back in nowhere's land. I feel bad for the Browns fans, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got him for a cheap price, 5th and a 6th, but
yeah, facts. K-Wall?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's different about this because when they bring in Jarvis and Odell, they were at the top of their game, right? And on their way out the door, everyone thought that, oh, age caught up to Odell or the injuries. He's not the same explosive guy. Dude was about to win the Super Bowl MVP if his knee ain't give out on him. You know what I'm saying? And I think the same thing with Jarvis. Jarvis was a perennial Pro Bowler or a close to being Pro Bowl kind of guy. I mean, he was known as like having sure hands, and he goes to Cleveland and he's just an ancillary piece and a run first offense. So, like Howard touched on right there, I see what the Browns are trying to do. Like this is what we get. This is the best we got is Baker Mayfield. And we need to exhaust every resource that we can to make sure that it's not a personnel problem, that it's him. You know what I'm saying? Because every year it's always been the excuse that, oh, he was injured or him and Odell don't mesh because Odell freelances or he can't get the ball here or that. The truth is, I mean, Baker can't make most throws that, a legitimate QB can make. Like we've talked about this. Like he can't make a backside drag. Like all that stuff Amari Cooper was doing in Dallas, you know what I'm saying? All those technical routes he was running and Dak was hitting him on the money. I hope he's not expecting for it to be the same thing in Cleveland because, I mean, yeah, you could say, I'm tired of playing with the black Kirk Cousins. At least black Kirk Cousins was getting you the ball. Now you're about to go play a Baker or whatever like that. Yeah, I mean, he's getting his money, but I mean, I think it's a complete downgrade at QB play. If he thinks he's going to go in there and set the league ablaze, finally he's got a QB that could get him the ball, but I mean, that's not the case. I mean, you had 2 Pro Bowl receivers show up there and their career was almost ended, if they didn't get out when they did. So for Cleveland, good for the organization to continue to surround your quarterback with talent, because Baker's not a guy that can elevate a squad with what he's got. He needs, every position on the field has to be set, and he needs to game manage. And sometimes he can't even do that. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. But I mean,
yeah.
You know who really won?
Who?
Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
Michael Gallup won out of all. Michael Gallup won.
Yeah. Freaking for Cleveland, this is a situation where they wasted the first overall pick, and then they're looking back and saying who they could have got with that pick. They could have got a Lamar who went at the end of that draft. They could have got a Josh Allen who went 6, right? They're looking at this situation and they're like, they just don't want to give up on Baker because it is admitting that the organization failed and they made the biggest mistake that they could have made. They say here,
like you gotta write it out. Could you imagine Josh Allen on that squad right now, and they just got Amari Cooper? It's like, yo, they're Super Bowl favorites.
They would have probably won the Super Bowl last year.
Because Josh Allen, the only thing Josh Allen was missing in Buffalo is the running. That was it.
Yo, imagine him doing like a play action sweep, like where he just like fake it off and he could take off for 40, 50 yards.
He could take off. Imagine the play sets when they have Baker and both running backs. Imagine Josh, Kareem, and Nick Chubb out there.
Yeah.
You don't know where the ball's going. And then you got Amari Cooper lined up out there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got that defense on the other side. That's the other downside about it, is like they got this defense that's like stacked at every position, and they can't go nowhere. Because I mean, defense wins you championships, but it don't score you points. So,
Yeah.
It's the greatest assembled team besides the quarterback.
For them, they're looking at this situation like, we don't want to admit as an organization we failed and we did wrong. So I think they're going to continue trying to put these pieces around Baker, keep trying to make excuses for Baker. But I feel like the tenure of Baker's excuses is coming to an end, because when you see Odell go somewhere and shine, now if Jarvis goes somewhere and he shines, it's going to look even worse, because you're showing that you had Odell, who obviously is still in his prime. He may be towards the back end, but he's still in his prime. You got Jarvis, who going to probably show that he's going to go back to Miami, Jarvis, and start having great seasons after great season. So I think for Amari, I feel like this is I feel like it's purgatory. I feel like you're sending him.
Yeah, this is wide receiver, like you said. Like I said, this is the dumpster of the NFL when it comes to being a wide receiver.
Yeah,
I feel like Amari Cooper would get more legitimate looks in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence, you know what I'm saying, than he would be playing with Baker. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm dragging this boy Baker is because I've had players that have played on Cleveland in this offense in fantasy, and it's just like, damn, dude, like maybe he's hurt or maybe the show's hindering. And then sometimes when he's fully healthy, it's like, how the fuck did you miss that? Like, and what makes it even worse. And the beauty of it is, right, OBJ went and played with Matt Stafford, right? So he didn't go and play with like a Pat Mahomes or a Rodgers or Tom Brady, like some legendary QB. Mm-hmm. Like Matt Stafford is great in his own right, but he's not like in that echelon. And you look, his whole career was revitalized, playing with just someone a little bit better than Baker, you know what I'm saying? And Matt's probably like a top 10, top 15 QB every year, So if Jarvis Landry goes and plays with a Kirk Cousins, right? I bet you Kirk can get him the ball. Because when Kirk's on, he's on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The thing is about Kirk nuts up in the middle. Even if Jarvis went and played with Derek Carr, you know what I'm saying? He would get him the ball. If he played that Hunter Renfrow slot kind of role with him on and off, Derek Carr could get him the ball. I mean, Derek Carr had Zay Jones looking like that boy down the stretch, like no joke.
For Amari, it's about to be rough, and the hard part about it is I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to look at Amari and say, oh yeah, Amari out his prime. Amari is not this wide receiver anymore. Instead of saying, oh yeah, Baker just not that guy. I feel like eventually though, it's coming to an end. So what's going to either happen? it's gonna be the craziest thing. I feel like it's gonna be the Sam Darnold thing. I feel like Baker is gonna come out, start the season great, and then as soon as they be like, "Oh man, we got our franchise quarterback," he's gonna go back to being Baker Mayfield. As soon as he gets that contract and sign it, he's gonna go back to being Baker.
Exactly, bro. Cleveland's gonna deny their 5th-year option, right? They're gonna try and trade him or whatever like that. He'll go somewhere else, and he might like Sam Darnold have a couple good games because it's a new system, I think, and he's gonna go right back to his.
But this is his 5th year, so this is his 5th year. This is his do or die year.
Oh, this is his 5th year.
Yeah, because we gave Sam Darnold his 5th year option.
Oh yeah, they all. So after this year, he's a free agent regardless. So
yeah,
they tag him.
This is it. So Baker going to show. He's going to show that. All right, I feel like the first 6 games of the year, he's going to come out and go crazy. They're going to be like,
I feel like what you said with the whole drafting number 1 overall. I feel like Cleveland, like Baker, he's in a good spot because he's got Cleveland's balls in a vice. Because there's no other option. There's literally no other option that they can bring in besides him. And it's like they're gonna need him. So I could really see Baker having a decent season. Say they make the wild card and get bounced or like that, and they tag him, right? For like 20-something plus million. And like he's actually in a good spot because they clearly believe in him and they clearly keep investing in around him. You know what I'm saying? You see some QBs, they move. You see some QBs, they move on from him within them 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey,
they don't have no.
Hey, like I said, bro, he got an amazing agent. How this man is still doing commercials and stuff like that, with being like the ass clown of like the league. Hey, more power to him, bro. But at least Cooper's not gonna be suffering. You know what I'm saying? At least he's getting his 20 and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on to let's move on to the Mitch Trubisky and Carson Wentz. Both of them find themselves on new teams. What are you laughing about, bro?
Nothing.
All right.
I just want to hear how I got to say.
Both of them find themselves on new teams. We got Carson Wentz going to the Washington Commanders, and we got Mitch Trubisky going to the Steelers. All right, for Mitch Trubisky, do you think he's the perfect guy to replace Big Ben? Because they still got talent over there. That's the thing about the Steelers. It's a nice situation to be in because they still got talent. They still got wide receivers. They got a nice young running back. Their defense is on the up and up with TJ Watt still there. So do you think for Mitch Trubisky, do you think he's the perfect guy to replace Big Ben? And how far do you see them going?
So I don't think it's a bad fit at all because I think Mr. Trubisky right now can make more throws than Ben Roethlisberger could have last year. So, and they were on a fringe team. They almost made the playoffs last year. So you're upgrading the arm talent. Like he can make more throws. He is a little bit more elusive. He's not crazy.
So they did make it. They did make the playoffs last year.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did.
They got bounced by the Chiefs first round.
I forgot about that. My bad. Yeah, it was so unforgettable. But anyways, they upgrade that. He's a little bit more elusive. And, he sat behind Josh Allen for a year. And, I mean, from everything I've heard out of my camp, the Bills camp, they said he really did polish up his game. I don't know. He's going to a great system, right? He's going to play for Mike Tomlin. He's got Najee. Right now he's got Deontay and Claypool. I don't think Juju's going to be back. So he's got 2 good weapons. Yeah, he's got a big target. I mean, worst things worse, just throw it up at Claypool. He's got Washington that can burn, So, I mean, he's got decent offensive line. So, yeah, he's in a decent spot. He's in a okay division. I mean, Baltimore's pretty good. Browns, probably not. The Bengals, that's going to be a tough team, though. I ain't gonna lie. So, and they got a really good defense.
Let me ask you something. All right, and before I ask you this, let's pile some more on Baker. Do y'all know Baker got the best offensive line in the league? All right, moving on. But moving on. With this team, right, is set to win, right? Mr. Trubisky, you say he got to sit behind Josh Allen last year and polish up his game. My thing is, from a Josh Allen, I don't feel like not Dick. I don't feel like Josh Allen is like super technical. I feel like he just like a physical specimen and he's got like natural talent.
He's a baller.
Yeah, he's a baller.
He's a baller.
He just got like that natural talent about him. So my thing is, what could Mr. Trubisky learn from like?
Thank you for bringing this up because I was gonna touch on that too. Thank you for bringing this up.
Like from all of his like downfalls in Chicago, to going to learn behind Josh Allen. What really could he have learned to make him a better quarterback? It's not like he went to behind a technical quarterback like a Tom Brady or like one of them guys. So what do you think about that?
So I mean, still progressions, right? I mean, he's looking at what Josh sees and he sees what he should have seen, because I mean, Josh is human. He makes mistakes. He's not going to hit every good, every open receiver. He might even make a play to Diggs, force ball to Diggs that shouldn't have happened. And he didn't see Gabe Davis or Emmanuel Sanders. He's seeing things open up. He's seeing how, teams disguise cover 2, cover 3, because there's a lot of disguising with us. And I mean, the backup quarterback, part of his job is to help the starting quarterback be like, hey, this is how they're disguising these blitzes. This is how they're disguising the coverages against you and kind of defend it. And let's be honest, that Bears team, yeah, they had a really great defense, but their offense wasn't that great. All right, let's be honest. They didn't have that many weapons. They had Allen Robinson, and then they had David Montgomery. They had
Cohen. They had Cohen too. Yeah, he was cooking that year.
Yeah, who just got cut?
He got cut because he didn't pass his physical. That's the only reason why he got cut. That goes for everybody. If you don't pass your physical, you get cut.
That's fine. He had Allen Robinson, Dave Montgomery, and Cohen. Now he's going at Najee Harris, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Nate Washington. I mean, he's going to a better situation. So, I mean, I'm a little bit hopeful. And, I mean, it's the Steelers. They got Mike Tomlin. So I'm not counting that team out. They made the playoffs last year with Noodle. I mean, Ben couldn't throw 20 yards. They made the playoffs. So I'm expecting this to be an upgrade.
Yeah. Well,
would you have?
I got 3 things that's working against Mitch, right? 3 things, right? 1, the shoes he has to fill going into Pittsburgh. Because just like how you just said, Howard, his replacement, and that's how everyone's painting the picture, is Mitchell Trubisky is the replacement of Ben Roethlisberger. Not like, okay, here's a bridge quarterback, the game manager. We'll see if he becomes something, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's saying that this is Ben's replacement, right? I don't know what he did sitting on the bench because I don't think he played any of the games this season. I don't know what he did on the bench to warrant this kind of hype or like that. I think it's because Brian Dable worked with Josh Allen and fixed Josh Allen, but like how you touched on pedigree, right? The natural God-given talent, something that you can't teach, was already there for Josh Allen, right? It just needed to be refined, and like how we just talked about with Baker, Pittsburgh's looking at Mitchell Trubisky like, oh, we could fix this guy. He was drafted number 2 overall for a reason, we could fix him. The Bears probably doing something wrong, but they weren't. No, the talk out of the Bears about Mitchell Trubisky was he fades in the bright lights, he doesn't work through his progressions, and he can't read a defense that well, right? So yeah, he's got arm talent. Every quarterback in the league does, you know what I'm saying, when they first come in the league. That's the reason why they're in the league. He can scoot a little bit. Everyone can scoot somewhat, you know what I'm saying? And that's about it. What else? Because he's not known for being a precision passer. He's not known for being accurate, So like you said, what could he have possibly learned last year sitting behind Josh Allen? Because at the same time, right? Yeah, Josh Allen's kind of a gunslinger. He's a baller, but he's got instincts. You know what I'm saying? His instincts led him to do what he did, and it worked out for him because of his natural talent to get it there. We have yet to see that with Mitchell Trubisky. In those 2 playoff games that he played in or right there, if we could look at the final score and his stats, he was a non-factor. So what could possibly change now, being in a tougher environment than just as tough as being in Chicago, now in Pittsburgh? Or yeah, everyone believes in you just like how they believed in you in Chicago, but what's different this time around? What has changed? Because even on ESPN, his highlights are from that one preseason game he played in, not from when he was in Chicago. It's all him in the Bills uniform, that one game. There's not much tape of him doing great things in this league to show. It's evident. So, I mean, like, cool. Yeah. I mean, if they feel like they can get some out of him, they can get some out of him or whatever like that. But it is what it is. Because what else could you have gone with on the market, really? There's nothing else left out there.
So all right, I'm going to bring up another name, right? But first, let me ask y'all what y'all think about Carson Wentz, the Commanders. And do y'all think he can help Scary Terry get back to his performance?
I'll be honest with you, this was a stretch. I think this is more of a stretch than Mitchell Trubisky, if I'll be honest with you. I mean,
This is a reach.
one hurts,
It is a
man.
reach.
This one hurts. And I really believed in Carson too. This is why it hurts a little bit more. Because I thought he was gonna go to Indy and he's gonna be a problem. And then I watched him play. And I mean, yeah, Jonathan Taylor torched my team. Let's just get that out of there. Like it wasn't much what Carson Wentz was doing. But you watch the other games, I mean, especially down the road. I mean, they just had to beat Jacksonville to get in the playoffs. And Carson Wentz looked awful. I mean, he didn't look like he was doing anything except for holding onto the ball and praying to God someone was wide open. Not a little open, like wide open. If they weren't that open, he wasn't throwing it. He was getting sacked. So I don't know. The Commanders, I don't know why they didn't throw the book at Deshaun Watson. Maybe it's because he didn't want to go there, probably. But I mean, this is going to hurt. That's your first quarterback. He's going to be the first Commander quarterback. And you choose.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's true.
But think about that is the first quarterback you start your franchise, and you chose Carson Wentz,
quarterback of the season.
I would have put together my next 5 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, just so I can be like at least.
Well, they offered 3 firsts, and I think Jonathan Payne and something else for Russ, and they said no.
Yeah, I would have given something. It's got to be
Jonathan Allen.
It's got to be better than that.
What do you think about this, Mo Kawhi?
Yeah, dude, this is a fucking reach if there is one of the whole offseason. Because I mean, what's the difference between Heineke and him? But what they did, I mean, if literally every podcast I listen to, they say if you look at their numbers from last season, it is literally identical. The only thing that Wentz beats him is the touchdown to interception ratio. So it's literally identical. But like we've been talking about on this podcast, the value of QBs over the course of all the episodes we've done, the value of QBs is so high in the league, it's like disgusting. That every time a QB that has done something good in their career, look how many contracts Nick Foles has gotten since that Super Bowl, right? How many times he's been paid, bring in. Washington feels like, he showed flashes last year. Maybe we can be the ones to fix him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it does anything for Scary Terry's numbers. I think maybe his catches go up, maybe his yards, but Scary Terry's not a guy that scores like a lot of TDs. It's just not his game. It's been the same thing when he was in college. They just lost their best offensive lineman, Scherf, to Jacksonville. So unless they plan on revamping that offensive line, which was a problem last year, we all see Carson Wentz doesn't do a good under pressure. He's not a good decision maker when he's in pressure. And the same thing with Trubisky. He doesn't go through all his reads. It's just some QBs have it, some QBs don't. I think he's one of the ones that just don't got it. Can he sling it sometimes? Like when he's on, he's on. Like he can have some gunslinger games, but as far as making you competitive enough to compete for like a championship, I don't think that's it. And it's an expensive rental because I don't think he finishes out his contract there unless they just we got to keep him. Kind of like the Kirk Cousins situation where it's like, you got to keep him and it does no justice to cut him and pay him to go play somewhere else. So it's good on Carson Wentz. He's not tripping. He's like, I'm getting paid regardless. He's chilling.
The thing is, if you don't watch football, and you just look at Carson Wentz's numbers, he's looked like he would be like somewhere near a top quarterback.
Same with Jimmy G. If you don't watch football, you just look at Jimmy G's winning record, and his playoff record. You're probably like, oh, dude, he's got to be one of the best in the league. And then you watch him play, and it's like, God damn.
And
who's winning these games?
I was a guy that said, if everything failed, I wouldn't mind Carson Wentz coming to Carolina. But at the same time, it's like one of those things where it's only going to go so far. So I can understand. So I wanted to bring up something else while we're talking about number 2 overall picks, right? We're talking about Mr. Trubisky. We're talking about Carson Wentz. In one of them jobs, do you feel like another number 2 overall pick in Marcus Mariota could have came in and did better in one of them 2 jobs?
Probably in Indy.
Maybe.
Yeah. The dual threat with Jonathan Taylor. And then, Marcus Mariota, he can throw the deep ball. But his accuracy everywhere else in the middle throws isn't where it's at. So, I don't know. That's tough because we haven't seen Marcus play in so long. So really
and
hard.
it's kind of like with the Trubisky thing. He came in for the Wildcat plays for Raiders last year, and most of them was him running. You know, I think he had that one game winner in like the beginning of the season to, I think your boy Zay Jones or whatever like that against Baltimore. But other than that, it's kind of like, I mean, that's how it is when you're getting these like these mid-range QBs. You're just rolling the dice and hoping that their system complements their skills and they can get you through a season. Because, I mean, I know no one's rolling out Marcus Mariota season 1 as like that's our guy. You know, it's not confident. You know what I'm saying? But now it's kind of like now look at this. This is a question I want to ask y'all. Now, you got rid of Carson Wentz, right? Y'all just missed the playoffs with Carson Wentz. Who do you bring in that you think will elevate you, that's available right now, other than Carson Wentz could have? Because Russ is gone.
The quarterback you bring in. The quarterback you bring in.
Yeah.
You bring in Teddy Bridgewater.
He just signed Miami to be Tua's backup.
He went to Miami?
He's going to be Tua's backup. Yeah.
Why? Teddy would have been perfect in Indy.
He's from Florida.
But he could have been a starter. He went to Indy, he would have been perfect. Because the problem with Indy and Carson Wentz is he did not make the safe throw at the right times. He did not just do the check down. He couldn't hit Pittman in the right moments. You know, I feel like with Teddy, he's a safe quarterback. He's a guy that can get your wide receivers the ball when you need it. You can go play action with Teddy. I feel like he would have been the perfect guy for Indy. Because a lot of times, if you can get a guy that will just hold on to the ball and be safe with the ball, and you got a dominant running back like a Jonathan Taylor, you just need to be able to get down the field. You just need to be able to get first downs on. You just need to be able to get first downs or third downs. Whenever it's third down, you just need to be able to roll it out, get the first down. So I feel like Teddy would have been a perfect guy for them.
So who do you think now? Because it's not a lot left out there. So they really are left with like backups from last year that they think they can roll the dice on, like Minshew, Mariota, or the draft, maybe moving up for somebody. Because Deshaun's probably not going to go to Indy, and I don't think they have the cap space for it. But you never know with the NFL; anything can happen. But
I mean, if they were smart, they would sign like a Marcus Mariota. Maybe it works out, probably won't. And then the season's not going to go well. They're going to have a top 10 pick.
But the problem with that is the owner said this is the last time this squad and this city is not playing meaningful football around this time next year, like playing the playoffs, right?
You know what I'm saying? What is he going to do? Is he going to go put on pads and throw the football? No. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the owner can say all he wants, but what is he really going to do?
My thing is, if you just want to make the playoffs, all right? If just making the playoffs is your goal, you go and see if Tennessee is tired of the Tannehill experience.
They're not going to trade him to another team in the division.
Probably not. But I feel like that would be the.
But then, what does Tennessee do? Because Tennessee can win with Tannehill. They've showed it. Yeah. What are they going to do?
But they've been talking about how they're kind of tired of Tannehill, and thing is, Tannehill is up and down. I feel like they're tired of Tannehill's up and down. 1 week Tannehill look like he could be an MVP conversation. The next week he'll come out and throw 3-4 picks, and you're looking at him.
In a playoff game.
Yeah, you're looking at him like, why is this guy even an NFL quarterback? So I don't know. It's an interesting situation. Quarterbacks are out here. I think a lot of guys, they didn't get into the Deshaun, the Russ, them conversations. So I feel like a lot of them are going to look towards the draft.
What about a Daniel Jones?
Oh, come on.
Giants. What if he's available?
You said who?
I mean, they declined his 5th-year option. I'm saying, Daniel Jones. I'm pretty sure they want to offload him before he just walks for free in free agency. Daniel Jones.
That's next year. He's still got 1 more year on his contract.
Yeah, he still got 1 more year.
Oh, so this isn't like his last. Oh, so next year will be his 5th year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, wait till not this year's draft class, because this year's draft class, the quarterback, unless Malik Monk pans out, I don't see any of these guys really being the superstar. Wait for the next year's QB draft class. Take it off the chin. Quit reaching for these guys and go draft the guy that you believe in the following year.
So you don't think Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, you wouldn't look at Desmond Riddler. Who else? There was another one.
Sam
Howell, and there's one more.
Sam Howell, no.
Matt Corral. Well, you gotta look. A lot of those teams that have early picks that could have taken a QB have kind of solved their issues already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Depending on what Seattle does at number 9 pick, if they reroute it somewhere else, they could possibly take a QB at number 9, maybe Malik Willis first. If not, if they bring in Deshaun Watson. Houston seems like they're set at QB with Davis Mills, or they say. We have yet to see or with that. But a lot of those teams that had QB issues kind of already addressed their problems in some way, shape, or form. I don't know where Indianapolis is picking in the draft, but maybe there's always a chance to move up, and get somebody that they want.
Later than Seattle.
All right, let's move on. So some trades, some signings for the LA Chargers. We got Khalil Mack on the move from Chicago for a 2nd and a 6th round pick. We got J.C. Jackson, who signed a 5-year, $82.5 million deal. Money. That just made the Chargers first, the best in the AFC West. Second, does this make them Super Bowl contenders?
So they're not best in their division. I mean, you can't take that away from Kansas City, not yet. You actually have to take it from them before I'm going to give you that. Because, I mean, they've been in 4 AFC Championship games. I don't like the team.
What's Kansas City doing to get better?
It don't matter. They are the king, and until
I get what his point. Until someone dethrones them, because even last year, remember in the beginning of the year, everyone's like, "Oh, they're broken. They're not." They still was in the AFC Championship game. Yeah. They were 1 step from the Super Bowl. So
they still
you got to knock them off first.
So this is the thing. This is the thing about the whole thing when it comes to the Chiefs, right? I feel like 3 years ago, other than you look at Aaron Rodgers, nobody was as talented as Pat Mahomes. I feel like it would just, when you look at it, you just saying, oh, Pat Mahomes is the most talented out there, right? But then the new age come in where you got Justin Herbert's coming in the league. You got Joe Burrows. You got Josh Allen taking the next step. You got these guys taking these steps where you're looking at it like, no, Pat Mahomes is not just, it used to be Pat Mahomes up here at a 10, and everybody else you look at other than Aaron Rodgers at talent-wise, you'll look at a 7. But that's
I get what you're saying, right? All right, so look, Josh Allen, probably one of the most athletic QBs, right? Right?
Yeah.
You all get that? Justin Herbert got arm talent for days, right? And Burrow is he just fucking wins, right? Pat Mahomes possesses all 3 of those things and some. Not all of them possess. Burrow's not athletic. You know what I'm saying? He's a winner. He's got good arm talent, but not the best. Herbert is athletic. He's got good arm talent, but he can't win. Allen, he's got good arm talent. He's probably the second. He's probably like 2A to Pat Mahomes. But all those things, all those QBs possess, Pat can do all of that. He had 1 down year, you know what I'm saying, this year, due to maybe off the field issues or like that, or on the field things. I mean, there's issues with the offensive coordinator calling plays that didn't make any sense at the time at the line. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's not forget who Pat Mahomes is. He got that $500 million for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
We know who he is, right? All right, let me ask you this, Gabriel. What could Tom Brady do that Peyton Manning couldn't?
Win.
No, Peyton Manning was a winner. Try again. What could Tom Brady do that Peyton Manning couldn't do?
Had a better coach.
I don't know. I mean, Brady.
Peyton Manning, when we were younger, was the most talented thing we have ever seen, right? But we seen a guy who did little check downs, who was just a winner, win way more Super Bowls than the most talented guy. So when you saying this, yes, Pat Mahomes is the Peyton Manning of today. He is the most talented thing we have seen in a long time. Yes, he can do everything that all these other quarterbacks can do. But when you see Joe Burrow getting a team built around him, and he can do these checkdowns, and he's a winner, Joe Burrow got a chance to win more than Pat do. When you see, like, do you get what I'm saying? So that's where I'm looking at it as, like, okay, like we've been looking at it as for the past 2-3 years as Pat would just heads over heels when it comes to everybody else. It was just Pat, and then it was like Pat and Aaron Rodgers talent-wise. They just sat right there. Nobody else was even close. But yes, all right, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Herbert may not be as talented, but they're not Pat a 10, everybody else a 7 anymore. Pat's still a 10, but everybody else is creeping up to that 8.5, 9. So now it's at a point where all these guys just need.
So if you take Herbert and Mahomes, you flip-flop them, right? You put Herbert on the Chiefs, you put Mahomes on the Chargers. Do the Chargers still miss the playoffs?
Do the Chargers still miss the? All right.
With Mahomes.
Let's look at it the other way. Would you put Herbert on the Chiefs? God. Do they still win Super Bowls? Yes. Yes. Everything.
Herbert had some questionable games when the lights were kind of bright.
Yo, everything that, because this is the thing you gotta look at, right?
No, I'm not taking away from you. Look, you're
absolutely so you're right. You're right. They gotta
show me before, like Burrow showed me, Allen showed me. The whole Herbert thing, I don't know. He hasn't even been in a meaningful game in his life yet since he's been in the NFL. You know, I get it's only been 2 years. You know what I'm saying? But he's got a lot more help this year as far as the defensive ball, so he doesn't have to go out there and score 50 points a game to win. He did last year. But like Howard said, until someone can knock them off, you know what I'm saying? Regardless if Pat's playing bad or it's the defense I got them there, whatever, they're still in every AFC championship game the last 4 seasons. Until someone can get them out of there, you know what I'm saying? Then I can't put anyone in the AFC West over them.
Which is correct, right? But this is the thing, right? We're not given, like, a lot of quarterbacks we scrutinize and we be like, all right, yes, they got all this help. You got to think, Pat Mahomes is a talent. I'm not trying to take nothing away from Pat Mahomes, right? But he has the best tight end we have seen since Gronk. He has Tyreek Hill, who Howard can attest, can take a play, a little 5-yard slant to a touchdown, piecing people out. So we gotta look at it like this. We gotta look at it that way. Because the thing about the Chiefs is, I don't see them getting better. They're not doing anything to get better. And I don't feel like guys just want to go there to try late in their career, just want to go there because they think it's a guaranteed Super Bowl anymore.
Because you know what the problem is that their window is low-key coming to a close. You know what I'm saying? They had their little dynasty run or at that, and their window's kind of coming to a close because dudes are getting older. The money's starting to run out. You know what I'm saying? Pat Mahomes' contract, this last friendly year of his contract, then that shit starts kicking up to like the 40s, you know? So the money's starting to run out. Guys are getting older. There's extensions that need to be made, and you got to let go of certain guys. You know what I'm saying? So the window's closing, but at the end of the day, like we see in this NFL every single day, as long as you have a competent quarterback out there, there's always a chance. There's always a chance.
You're absolutely correct. Let me ask you this: when it comes to the Chiefs, if they get off to the start that they got off to this past year, do they still make it to the playoffs?
Yes.
Do they rebound? I mean, they're the Chiefs. I mean, yeah. I mean, until they don't make the playoffs, I can't say they're not going to. I mean, they did it last year.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Until they don't make the playoffs, like they ride that stinker of a season the entire year, I can't sit here and say, yeah, they're not going to make it if they started last year. Because, I mean, like they just have some teams' number. You know what I'm saying? Like they no, not trying to be funny, but like the Bills, right? They have their number. You know what I'm saying? They weren't the most cohesive unit when they went to that game against the Bills, but they thugged it out and won. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some W's you could circle on that calendar because they have certain teams' number. And there's some teams that have their number, you know? So we'll have to see. Until I see it, you know what I'm saying? I can't say that they wouldn't. I think it'll be a lot harder this year because the AFC West as a whole has upgraded. Every team has upgraded something on their roster to make them competitive. You know, like how not too long ago, the AFC West, it was the Chiefs. It's theirs. All they got to do is show up and it's theirs. I don't think that's the case this year, you know?
No.
You got 4 decent quarterbacks in the division now.
There's 3, all right? The fourth one's like the ugly stepchild. But anyways, here's the thing. He plays good in 2-minute drills. That's about it. But anyways, here's the thing.
The best league right now.
Chargers, what they did is they made Denver's move to get Russ kind of like because I think straight up right now the Chargers are definitely better than Denver Broncos. Right up, I think they finished second. I think they are the number 1 wild card that comes in by probably a game or 2. I don't know. I'm not ready to say they're going to beat Pat Mahomes, but I'm ready to say that Denver trade, how much they gave up for Russ, I don't know, man. They're going to have to work really hard just to make the playoffs now because that's one of the 3 playoff spots that I'm giving to the Chargers right now. There's 2 others, and you can have 3 playoff teams in one division, but that means the Raiders have to go like 2-14, and I think they're better than that. So I don't know. This is tough. I'll give the Chargers. They're number 2 right now. They made some splashes, but I can't give them number 1. Can't do it.
So my thing is, when it comes to it, all right, the Broncos, the thing about the Broncos team, they're a team that is based off potential, right? We don't really know what Jared Judy is yet. We seeing Sutton have nice years and all that. So they're more of a team based off of potential. So the Broncos could very well get into the playoffs, but I think that the Chargers, just these moves that they made, they just became the best in their division. Because when you look at it now, when you look at this team now, the middle is tight, right? So you're not just running through the middle, because Khalil Mack is not just no hole. What's buddy name? JC Jackson. You can put him on your number 1. Ashanti, you can put him on your number 2 confidently. No struggle. So I think when you
then you got Derwin up top too.
Then you got Derwin up top. Yeah. So when you look at this team,
Bosa, like
they kept their 2 receivers. They kept their big guy Mike Williams, and then they got Keenan still. You got Eckler. Mm-hmm. And Herbert, I feel like Herbert just waiting to take that step. So I mean, it's gonna be an interesting situation. All right, let's go on. So,
I just want to say one last thing, just one thing. I feel like for the Broncos' chances, there's only one spot open for the playoffs, because I don't think they win their division, right? So that's 4 spots taken right there. I think the Chargers take the other one, and I think the Patriots take the other one, right? So there's really only one spot left. And there's a lot of good teams out there. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, that could go either way. You got the AFC with Indy and Tennessee.
Well, Indy's out now.
But beforehand, yeah. But I mean, there's really just one spot open. So yeah, the Russ has got to come up. They got to have like an 11-7 season, 11-6 season, however many wins. You need at least 10 wins, especially in that whole conference. You need at least 10 wins. You know what I'm saying? Because it's super top heavy right now.
And then the thing is, I'm honestly not going to count out. I'm not going to count out the Dolphins, who towards the end of the end of the season got hot. I'm not going to like there's a lot of teams that you can look at like, all right, they got a chance. They're in that maybe situation. All right, let's move on to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, we're not even gonna bring up the other stuff. We're gonna keep it straight football. He's looking at a few teams. He's been looking at the Panthers, the Saints, Philly, New Orleans. Which of these situations do you think is best for him? And what do you think he should do? Matter of fact, I need y'all to take a break real quick. And I need to get on my soapbox, right? So, Carolina, I need y'all to go out here and get Deshaun Watson at any cost. There is no price too big. We sit here every year. We went from a bridge quarterback to a tryout quarterback to giving this tryout quarterback $19 million next year for 5 games. And we're not sitting here. So Carolina, if you're listening, you cannot pass up this opportunity to get Deshaun Watson. We cannot afford for him to go to New Orleans and torture us for the next 10 to 15 years. Tom Brady decided he wanted to come back. I don't understand why. But he decided out of nowhere he want to come back to the NFL and torture our division. And then the bottom feeders of our division is the Falcons right now. But they're not even a true bottom feeder. So Carolina, if you are listening, you give up whatever the cost is to get Deshaun Watson.
Because literally last week we were just talking about how wide open this division was.
Matt Ryan might win it. Yeah, no, he ain't.
Yo, Matt Ryan's the best quarterback in the whole division. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done. Carolina has gotten me.
All right. Well, I mean, what do you think you'd have to give up to get Deshaun Watson? Realistically,
I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care.
So DJ and CMC and some picks.
No DJ. CMC, yeah. No, you can't give away DJ. What?
I
That's the whole reason you bring him. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to give away a DJ, right?
What if in a world Deshaun doesn't want to go to Carolina because he has a no trade clause?
If he did not want to come, that's the thing. We got to wow. We got to give him whatever makes Deshaun happy. We give it to him. We tell him everything. If he want, I don't know who he would want to come with him. If he wants to go give up the rest of our future to go get his boy D-Hop, we do that.
It probably will be Fuller.
If you want that, we do that.
Yeah, I agree.
We do not let him walk out of the office in Carolina until he says he is 100% happy with the way that this organization.
Because he shows up to Carolina in day one, y'all already a wild card team.
Yo, if he says you want,
we've seen him go toe to toe with the Chiefs in the playoffs. He had D-Hop, yes, but I mean, dude is Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like we haven't seen him in here, but the dude he's captain, makes something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying?
If he shows up right and he say he want Dabo, Mike Williams, Hunter Renfrow, and that whole Clemson coaching staff.
Oh, just bring the whole squad back.
We go get that.
Renfrow played with Deshaun?
Huh?
Renfrow played with Deshaun?
Yeah, at Clemson. He caught the game-winning touchdown on that win over Alabama in the championship.
Damn.
So if what Deshaun wants, Deshaun gets. It got to be as simple as that. We cannot sit here and afford to let him go to New Orleans. That is a no. We cannot sit here and be like, all right, Tom Brady, he came back. He's gonna probably retire next year. Because you know what, Tom Brady, I feel like he's gonna play till he's 50. He do not care. You know what, Howard? I finally understand how you feel.
Yeah, that motherfucker needs to go.
Me and Howard has never connected on this level until now.
Motherfucker needs to go.
He has
I know.
Get out the league.
Howard been living in Spain with the S side
for 20 years.
Oh man. So what y'all think? Where y'all think Deshaun should go?
So you made the gig for Carolina. So I'm not gonna copy that because I do like Carolina. I think that's you guys got a lot going on for you there, especially with your division. Like it's a lot to like for him. But I'm gonna go with Philly, and here's why. All right. I know everyone's probably like, why would he go to Philly? They have a really loyal fan base. And just like your division, that division, I mean, the NFC East, it's bad. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. You got the Commanders now, which aren't going to win any games. Not many. You got the Giants, which they still have Daniel Jones, so I'm not counting them in anything. And then you have the Cowboys, who historically, they have a good year, and then they have a terrible year for no reason. So, I mean, this is the perfect year for Deshaun to go there. They have Smith. They have some weapons. They don't have a lot. But, I mean, they have some things. And obviously, if they bring him in, they're going to bring pieces around him. I would have liked to see maybe during the free agency that Philly or Carolina or one of these teams brings in a receiver not Kurt, because that was ridiculous, the contract he got, but bring in weapons to kind of persuade Deshaun to come here. I'm waiting for some teams to do that. But I mean, why not go to Philly? Fly high. They already won a Super Bowl. I mean, you're replacing Jalen Hurts. That's not hard to do. So and it's an easy division. Whatever he does, I know for a fact he's not staying in the AFC. He is doing this. He's getting out of the AFC because the NFC is where you want to be. I mean, you got Tom Brady. I mean, you got Kyler, Stafford. I mean, Matt Ryan, the quarterbacks there.
You got Dak, Kirk. Yeah, I mean, you got more. You have more mid-range.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
You got more mid-range QBs than you have superstars. The AFC is loaded with talent.
Yeah. I bet you can really get probably you could probably get 12 of the top 15 out of the AFC
right now.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, Deshaun, just get out of the AFC. That's all I'm telling you. Just get out of the AFC and you win. Really, you do.
Well, you took my pick. I was going to talk about Philly, but I did have a dark horse I wanted to talk about, and it kind of touches on the guy we were talking about earlier. All right, that if they can't pull it off, right, and this team has shown that they will spare nothing to be competitive because they want to right the ship and not have that label as the laughing stock of the league. There is a possibility if the Cleveland Browns, you know what I'm saying, hear me out, right? If they pull this off, right, you some kind of way sell the Texans on having Baker, you send them, maybe you might have to give up one of those two running backs, preferably Kareem, if you had to choose, you know what I'm saying? And then some picks. I mean, they've given up picks. They don't have a problem with that. And you bring in somebody like Deshaun Watson, right? Right now, you could say the NFC North, is it they playing? Yeah, the NFC North. It's between AFC North, right? Yeah, it's a tough division, but it is kind of winnable, right? Because, yes, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl last year, but with Deshaun Watson, the Browns can go shot for shot with them with their defense. You know what I'm saying? So it's a winnable division, right? Not winnable, but there's a shot. There's the playoffs. If they get Deshaun Watson, they're definitely taking that last spot. I'm sorry, Russ. You know, I love you, but they're taking that last spot. In Cleveland, you have everything you need to be successful, right? You've got literally two of everything. You have two tight ends, right? You have a star-studded offensive line. I don't think any of them have not made a Pro Bowl yet. Their whole offensive line. You have two running backs if you keep them both. You just signed Amari Cooper, and that defense is stacked. The defense will keep you in game. Will keep you in games if your offense isn't going. It'll always give you a chance to win. That was a problem in Houston. The defense wasn't keeping them in games. You know what I'm saying? They were having to play from behind a lot and score 40 points a game, right? So if they can pull it off right that, I think that would be maybe his third best place to play would be Cleveland because they're ready to go right now. You know, it's just the quarterback's holding back. I feel like he could have a lot of success there. Now, does he want to go play in Cleveland? I feel like Deshaun's more of like a location kind of guy. I don't think he would want to be in Cleveland, you know, but who knows? Maybe at this stage in his career, after everything went down, you know, maybe he's just worried about winning, you know, so I think Cleveland's not the worst. It's not the worst destination for him. You know, if Carolina can't bring him in or what did you say, Philly? I think Cleveland's the worst destination. Do they make that trade though? I don't know.
What about? I mean, I hate to bring this. What about Seattle? I mean, I feel like Seattle's way better.
It's too obvious. It's too obvious. That's why I didn't talk about that one. I want to talk about something like off the wall.
So the problem about Seattle can, to me, if you're Seattle, you cannot be in the halfway rebuild. I feel like if you're going to rebuild, you got to rebuild. If this was your plan to go see, because we all knew, like, all right, with Deshaun, it was going to go one or two ways with his situation, all right? So my thing is, if you were sitting here in your Seattle, why do you make all these moves to get Russ out, move off of Bobby Wagner, and do all this if you're still trying to stay competitive?
I mean, here's the thing. Well, Russ is old. You basically upgrade Russ for Deshaun Watson. I'll take that all day.
But why get rid of Bobby Wagner?
Why?
His contract. It's his contract.
It's ridiculous.
I think
the only reason he was so mad is because they didn't personally call him and tell him they were doing it. That his agent told him. So that's the only reason Bobby made a big deal about it. But he was getting paid like up. The cap hit would have been terrible.
So you think Seattle?
I mean, I think Seattle over the Browns. I think because they have the most to give, right? They take all those picks they got for Russ, they give them to them, and then they
all
add
those
a couple
players
more
too. Because
well,
no.
Keep Noah Fant. Keep Fant.
Well, they just signed Disley to a 3-year, $21 million deal, and he's like their third string tight end.
Keep Fant, Disley. Get rid of Lockett. And I mean, and add a first and second round of your own. So you got 3 first rounders, you got 3 second rounders, Tyler Lockett, give him Drew Lock, Ted Harris, and then there you go. Go get Deshaun Watson.
Do you think there's a world where he stays in Houston, possibly?
You know, that's a dead mission. He wanted to be out last year. The situation happened. He wanted to.
What if Houston doesn't want to trade him? Because, you know,
they're going to be in a situation where he just not going to show up.
QBs. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I was just trying to make a conversation. Like, is there a world where he possibly just stays in Houston?
No, because David Mills is a dude. All right, David Mills is gonna take that team to the future. I'm telling you,
Davis Mills cooked the Patriots.
Yeah.
Davis Mills put up numbers on the Patriots.
All right,
best QB out of that draft.
Let's get into something that we hinted at, and as the return of Tom Brady. What did this mean for the league? And then also, I want to ask y'all about this. There was a man who paid $518,000 for Tom Brady's last touchdown ball.
I would demand that Tom Brady. You gotta give me. Yeah, I'm reaching out, bro. Like, you gotta do something. You gotta do something. Like, bro, you gotta hook me up. Because, dude, 500,000. Not like 50K, which is still a lot of money, but $500,000 you spent on what you thought was, and the sick part about it is he bought it the day before he came out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm coming back." Literally the next day, Tom Brady said he was coming back.
And I'm reaching out and be like, "Hey man, you give me half, you can have the ball. I just need some compensation back. So when you do this again, I can buy the next ball." Like,
I mean, if the dude had $500K to blow on a football,
that's
right.
He probably don't give a shit.
He probably don't give a shit. It's probably mattress Matt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. So what do Tom Brady's return mean for the NFL?
It's good for the league, bro. I was like Howard in the beginning. I was like, dude, fuck this guy, dude. He always wins. He's always in the championship game. But then you start to respect the game after a while. You know what I'm saying? Especially with how I am now towards the NFL. I've taken a step back from it all. I respect it a lot more. Like, it's better with him there. You know what I'm saying? You always have that antagonist, protagonist kind of thing in the NFC with Rodgers, Brady, then the Super Bowl. You know, the Super Bowl just seems, which is crazy. It just seems better when Brady's in it. You know, it seems like the storyline is like a movie when he's in it. You know.
So I'm not gonna lie. I love for my team for like selfish reasons as far as team. Do I love him coming back? No. But as far as a fan of football, yes, because it's not like he was Ben Roethlisberger. It's not like he was going out like at his worst, you know. He was going out on top. And my thing is, after the season that he just had, I feel like he could come back, still have another great season. I don't feel like his career is over yet. So as a fan of football, yes. Personally, hurts.
Didn't he lead the league in passing yards last year?
Yeah, like
that's crazy.
Yeah, he was having a crazy year.
I mean, I think everyone kind of like, I thought maybe he would have taken the year off at least. You know what I'm saying? Maybe taking the year off.
No. At 45, there's no taking no year off.
Yeah.
What Andrew Luck? If Andrew Luck decided to come back, that's what taking some years off. It's okay, but at 45, there ain't no just taking no year off.
I think the consensus was that he was always going to come back, right? At some point, everyone's like, nah, can't be over it. You know, like when it's like, yo, it's too quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
something's about to happen. I feel like the consensus was he was definitely going to come back. And I feel like he probably had to scare Tampa Bay into making sure their assurances were taken care of before he came back. Because at his age, like you said, he's 45. He can't go through another full rebuild. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's going to be 45 this year, but still. What about you?
You think he just did it? I honestly, I'm convinced he's just clout chasing at this point. Because, he announced his retirement the week before the Super Bowl to ruin that. So we're talking about is Tom Brady's retiring before the Super Bowl. That's all we're talking about. We didn't even talk about the Bengals, Rams. And now, free agency is just going to pop off and all these big trades. Russ is going here, Khalil Mack's going there. And I don't know where Tom Brady says, well, I'm back. Like, this man needs to stop clout chasing. Like, please stop.
You think he's clout chasing?
So
I think with him coming back, I was like, yeah, bro, you're clout chasing. What's the point?
He did not announce his retirement. It leaked that his retirement was that. And also, you're saying the exact same thing that Bruce Arians said. Bruce Arians said the exact same thing. He just basically said Tom Brady's a clout chaser.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I guess for the league, it'd be nice. Fantasy-wise, are y'all taking him? That's all I want to know. Will y'all look into him?
What did he lose on offense, really? I mean, Fournette was going to sign somewhere, allegedly. I saw it on NFL Network, and he shut that shit down. I guess they're trying to work to bring him back. So, I mean, he didn't really lose much on offense, So, if he's there, and he lost his starting guard, yes. That's terrible, but he
Yeah,
didn't
But
lose he didn't
No,
lose
no,
Chris Godwin. You know what I'm saying? You know Gronk's coming back. Mike Evans is still there. I'm talking about like he doesn't throw the ball to his guard. I'm talking about the guys that equate to
fantasy wise, how much are you paying for him?
We're doing the dollar amount again.
Hey, you already know we're doing it. Huh?
No more than like 30, 35. Because last year I did the whole cheap QBs thing. So this year I'm gonna make sure I have decent quarterbacks. So no more than 30, 35-ish.
All right. All right, y'all.
I'd rather go spend my bag on someone else.
All right, y'all. That's been another great episode. Because man,
is that Tom Brady stuff really hurt like that? Because I've never had to deal with that. Like y'all can attest to that. Like
shit
personally.
hurts.
So if we don't get Deshaun Watson, yes, this is gonna burn.
That's what I'm gonna ask you. Who are y'all rolling out if you don't get Deshaun?
Sammy
Darnold.
Sammy.
The $19 million man, Sam Darnold.
Sam I am.
But this has been another great episode, guys. Well, this has been Stay in Bounds, the sports podcast of the people. Y'all,
get out of here.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good night. Signing off for Howard and K-Wall. I'm your host, Kari P. Peace.
Peace.